There's a whole lot of garbage coming to Netflix this September. Stick around. I'll sort the trash for you. Welcome to the Troll Pundit channel. Let's get watching. First up is The Wrong Paris, a romantic comedy that's basically the cinematic equivalent of booking a Michelin-star dinner and getting served a cold, hot pocket. It stars Miranda Cosgrove as an aspiring artist so desperate to get to Paris, France, for a reality dating show, she somehow misses the small detail that it's actually in Paris, Texas. Her whole plan is to get kicked off the show, but we all know where this is going. She's going to fall for the charming cowboy bachelor. The best part is, the entire conflict could have been solved with a 1-minute Google search and a plane ticket. But then, we wouldn't have a movie. The film is a masterclass in stretching a single flimsy premise into an hour and a half of predictable joy. So if you're looking for a film that proves a passport is just a suggestion and true love is always a convenient mix-up away, then The Wrong Paris is the one for you. Dogman, proof that Netflix will animate literally anything if it's based on a popular kid's book. The plot? A cop's head gets replaced with a dog's. No magic, no alien tech, no Marvel spin, just casual workplace decapitation, followed by a HR nightmare. It's fast, silly, and gloriously chaotic, like if Zootopia went off its meds. Our hero battles Petey the cat, wrangles a pint-sized clone named Lil Petey, and still finds time for emotional growth. Perfect for kids and for adults who secretly wish their pets could file police reports. Escape Room is basically Saw, pitched as a deadly game show. 6 unlucky souls must navigate a series of death traps that range from mildly inconvenient to, oops, you're dead. We've got a gamer, a vet, a brainiac, a slacker, a businessman, and wait for it, that one guy whose role is literally dead by Act 2. The puzzles are clever, the deaths are creative, and every set looks like HGTV's very own murder-themed spin-off. Stylish, tense, and guaranteed to make you question that Groupon escape room you booked for Saturday. Shrek's back, and this time it's purely contractual. With daddy issues and a kingdom he doesn't want, Shrek dumps the crown on a teenager who's basically the human embodiment of high school despair. Meanwhile, Prince Charming rallies every bitter fairy tale reject without a happy ending. Basically the kingdom's Reddit thread. It's a sequel that screams, I'm here to keep the merch money flowing. Still, Donkey steals the scenes, Puss nails the sass, and somewhere in there, there's a moral about responsibility. Sure, the animation's a bit dated, the joke's a bit dusty, but it's comfort food, so it will always be worth a watch. Alright, so white noise is Netflix's way of reminding you, not all Michael Keaton movies are good. The plot? Guy's wife dies. He becomes obsessed with electronic voice phenomena, which is just a fancy term for listening to your old radio hiss until your brain melts. Hardly the top must-see TV. Instead of closure, he basically gets ghost spammed by every grumpy spirit with access to the AM band. Imagine if your spam folder could haunt you. It's a classic tale of a man's obsession with a television screen, a lot of unnecessary jump scares, and a plot that's about as clear as the static on his TV. Devil on Campus, the Larry Ray story, is a chilling and unsettling dramatic film that explores the terrifying true story of Larry Ray and his psychological hold over a group of college students. The movie meticulously chronicles how Ray, a man with a charismatic but sinister presence, moved into his daughter's dorm apartment and began to systematically isolate and manipulate her roommates. The film serves as a powerful and grim cautionary tale, exposing the vulnerability of young adults to cult-like behavior and the dark consequences of unchecked influence. The Blackening hits Netflix this September, bringing you a killer who's less about jump scares and more about pop quizzes. The plot is simple. A group of black friends head to a remote cabin for a Juneteenth reunion, only to discover they're trapped in a game with a masked killer. The rules are even simpler. If you can prove you're the blackest person in the group, you live. The movie is less about the jump scares and more about the cast, including stars like Grace Byers and Jay Farrow. And yeah, they're jokes. In short, if you like your horror served with a side of sharp comedy, savage social commentary, and just the right amount of, wait, did they really just say that? Moments, The Blackening earns a spot on your watch list. Get ready for redeeming love, because nothing says epic romance like being rescued from prostitution in 19th century California. We got Angel, whose past is about as cheerful as a coyote at a campfire. Then we have Michael, whose charm is so relentless, it could probably convert the devil himself. This is one of those movies where salvation, second chances, and slow glances all come wrapped in the soundtrack of creaking boots and whispered prayers. There's love, there's redemption, and just enough trauma to fund an entire Netflix documentary series. Bottom line, if you like your romance, served with a side of Old Testament level sass, this one's for you. This September, Netflix serves up Daddy's Home, plus the sequel, because one dysfunctional movie with Will Ferrell yelling just isn't enough. He's joined by Mark Wahlberg, who somehow makes the movie instantly forgettable. Seriously, can you name 5 Wahlberg movies off the top of your head? It's Wahlberg versus Ferrell in a battle for dad supremacy, with all the subtlety of a toddler throwing a tantrum. And just when you think it can't get any messier, the sequel drags the grandparents into the chaos for some extra family fun. Halfway through, you probably would enjoy a custody battle instead. It's less family comedy and more testosterone Jenga. One wrong move, and the whole house collapses. Coming September 12th and 13th. Next up in Netflix's September lineup, a German romantic comedy called She Said Maybe. Germany and comedy. Not exactly 2 words history has been dying to put together since the 1940s. This flick follows Mavi, a German woman who discovers she's part of a wealthy Turkish dynasty, throwing her relationship into chaos. Think Keeping Up with the Kardashians, but in a multiverse where everyone wears more clothes. The film is marketed as a brave and bold culture clash rom-com. And by brave and bold, I mean it's the exact same plot as at least 5 other Netflix originals we've already sat through. You can almost hear the Netflix boardroom stating, "Okay team, what if? A woman has to choose between the man she loves, her brand new, extremely wealthy family, but in Germany." Really? Listen lady, repeat after me. Prenup. This movie is basically a warm, familiar blanket of romantic comedy tropes. So if you're in the mood for a film that feels like a hug you've already gotten 10 times, She Said Maybe is waiting. Tyler Perry's back, and this time he's bringing the Old Testament. Ruth and Boaz takes an ancient love story and drops it in Tennessee, because nothing says timeless romance like barbecue smoke. Ruth's music career tanks. She relocates to the middle of nowhere and meets Boaz, a local vineyard owner and small-town heartthrob. What follows is a love story that proves the Lord works in mysterious and sometimes wine-soaked ways. You get Soraya, Tyler Lepley, Felicia Rashad, plus awesome musical cameos that have all the makings of a great remix. Streaming September 26th. Watch it for the faith, stay for the sass, and join me later as we figure out whether this was a rom-com or just a very expensive music video. All right, folks, brace yourselves, because just when you thought Netflix was done inventing sappy excuses for romance, French Lover waltzes in to ruin your September binge schedule. Omar Sy plays a famous actor who falls for a waitress, and together they discover love in the City of Lights. Or maybe just in the 3 blocks of Paris Netflix got a filming permit for. All the ingredients are here. Small town girl, impossibly charming rival, and a string of hilarious misunderstandings you can see coming faster than a tourist scam at the Eiffel Tower. The film tries to make a celebrity's life seem relatable. But no. The conclusion of our study is that French Lover is a perfectly engineered low-risk rom-com. Its greatest strength is its predictability. This isn't just romance, it's lifestyle porn, designer suits, perfectly lit cafes, and a Paris where no one is on strike. Streaming September 26th. Watch it if you want romance. Skip it if you want realism. Next, we have some international movies, because Netflix just loves to cater to folks with an acquired taste. Inspector Zende, dropping September 5th on Netflix, proves you don't need state-of-the-art tech to catch a criminal, just nerves of steel and a mustache that could intimidate even Interpol. Get ready for True Detective Bollywood edition. Manoj Bajpayee plays Inspector Madhukar Zende, a detective who solves crimes without a call center. Jim Sarb is the slick criminal everyone secretly roots for, because who wouldn't love a villain who orders chai mid-escape? We can only hope this comedy involves an elaborate musical number, a spontaneous dance-off, or at least a Bollywood-style chase scene where the characters fly through the air. Because if you're going to turn a true story into a punchline, you might as well go all in. Coming to Netflix is Tomb Watcher, a Thai horror comedy proving once again that marriage really is forever. After his wealthy wife dies, a man must spend 100 days with her preserved corpse in a remote villa to claim the inheritance. So naturally, he brings along his mistress. Talk about a third wheel, because nothing screams romance like the ex-wife's embalmed body admiring you through glass. It's like California housing, no one bloody leaves. Bottom line, Tomb Watcher is certifiably bonkers, beautifully absurd, and makes you question every life choice of these characters. Netflix calls it horror, but honestly, it plays like a reality show, keeping up with the corpses. This is either a brilliant new take on morbid humor, or a cautionary tale about the perils of prenuptial agreements. So Netflix ends September with The Four Rascals, a romantic comedy where four nosy relatives try to fix someone's love life. Basically what happens when you mix Romeo and Juliet with Scooby-Doo. This is Leo and Kate, if they survived the Titanic, only to move in with Somali pirates. The plot involves a love triangle, slapstick chaos, and even spy missions. You know, a completely normal Tuesday in Vietnam. Very beautiful place, by the way. Either way, there's something for everyone, but maybe not everything for someone. Check back next week for your weekly dose of movie madness, and as always, let's get watching.